Hi everybody, Debra here, and today I am with Robyn, and you are in for a treat. So Robyn, you and I just actually recently met, right?
Yeah,
this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend.
But you've been hanging with my buds Tim Untethered and Stanley and of course Tracy, and I was really looking forward to coming out and meeting you. So
Me too. Everywhere I've gone, everybody's like, "You've got to meet Debra Dickinson. You've got to meet Debra Dickinson."
And now you're going to go back and go.
So here I am.
You beat them over the head with a noodle now.
I'm best friends with her now.
Yeah, well, you can say that. You can say besties. That'll work. That'll work. And the other thing is that we are both TBI Thrivers, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And I'm just so proud of you, and I'm so glad that you are out here. And all I can say to you guys, if I can do it, and if Robyn can do it, you can do it. And I know that some aren't able to, but if you have the desire and the capability at all, if we can, you can.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you say that's right?
Absolutely. Amen.
And how long have you been on the road?
I started last January, but I kind of had to stop because of COVID.
Right.
So I just restarted in November.
And you were able to stay with some friends that helped you and took care of you during that time?
Yeah, my sister-in-laws.
Yeah.
So.
And y'all are going to love the tour of her van. You did that yourself?
I
want people to know that.
Everything.
And so today you get to meet her. And on my next video, you get to see her build out. And it is just like mind-blowing.
I'm just about that, but it's all right.
It is. I am so proud of you. So I got my initial injury 20 years ago, more or less, and survived that and recovered from that. And then 10 years later, I had scar tissue building up. And for anybody that's new to my channel is why I'm repeating that. And then I had to have brain surgery. You kind of went the other way, but you have a double whammy. But first tell people what your brain injury is from. I'm
a professional chef, and I was doing inventory in the deep freeze, and a frozen food box came from 15 feet up and landed on my head.
Yeah, and I mean, and every brain injury is different. We'll talk about that in a little bit because mine's different than yours, and the next TBI Thriver, theirs is going to be different. But that came on the heels of you having just recovered from something else. Do you mind sharing that?
Brain tumor.
Brain tumor.
On my frontal lobe.
Yeah, and you had multiple surgeries for that, recovered from that. And
radiation, chemo.
Yeah, I'm just...
Stem cell transplant.
And then went back to work and then
6 months later, boom.
So it's just, you know, I tell my viewers all the time that life can change. Well, actually, life boils down to seconds and inches, you know, and you just never know when it's going to change. And for me, I thought that I had recovered and I had a great career and was doing well, as I'm sure you thought you were starting to get in the groove and, you know, and looking at down the line at what life was going to look like, but because you were able to rebuild and then that second hit comes along and it's tough. Yeah. It's tough.
Actually, for me, I think the traumatic brain injury was worse than a tumor. I have more side effects and damage from the brain injury. And
I have no clue what it must have been like to go through those surgeries and recover from your tumor, but the adjusting to your new norm with the brain injury.
That's the hard part.
And it's a slippery little booger. It moves. It's pain in the butt. We'll say pain in the butt. You know, really all of the above. It really is. But I'm so proud of you. And so you were a professional chef, and you had, before COVID changed the whole world, there was something that you had wanted to do with your van. And what was that? Tell them.
Well, you know, when I was sick with the brain tumor and the brain injury, my friends just, they did so much for me, and they would come over and cook and do laundry and, you know, just take such good care of me, and I really wanted to pay it forward.
Yeah.
And with enjoying cooking as I do, it's kind of, you know, what I do in my life, I wanted to go travel around everywhere and just pay it forward by going to someone's house and cooking them a nice meal or stocking their refrigerator with, you know, meal preps. chocolate cakes, whatever, they really wanted. But
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to, just kind of travel around here and there and paying it forward.
And you were, if I understood correctly when we were talking earlier, you were kind of going to go like on I call them TBI forums, and then there's Facebook groups and everything, and the network that we communicate with in the TBI Thriver industry, and you were going, that's what you wanted to do, was to go give them hope and some love.
Yeah. I did have an organization that was going to kind of help me line up. I used to do a lot of volunteering. Can I say who?
Of course.
I used to do a lot with Ronald McDonald House.
There you go.
And I used to go into and do their meal preps for the families that were living in the campuses. And they kind of had, their own network of where I could go from. And such a great organization. I was going to start with them and, kind of just documented on that Van Appetit adventure.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of picked that name.
And you can find her Van Appetit Adventure on Instagram. Yeah. And you've got some things documented there. So have you given up on that completely?
I haven't. I'm just kind of waiting for COVID to settle down and everybody get, their shots and world sort of go back. But I have been in a couple campgrounds where it wasn't brain injury or health related, but there was a couple needy families that I got to say, hey, could I cook for you? Yeah. Well, so it was fun. You kind of just, it comes up once in a while that you meet somebody and it's like, oh, I haven't had a steak dinner. It's like,
I can take care of you.
So it's nice. You have to take advantage of the situations you come in. But I am going to do it, and I am going to make a, cross-country thing of it.
Well, that's why you fit so easily with this group and in the Nomad community, because as you know, this community is mostly about helping each other out and giving back, and you came out here with that heart already, and I just love that about you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And now I want you to tell us a little bit about Choopy.
Choopy, should I get him?
Well, he's sleeping so soundly. He's sleeping so soundly.
Come on, puppies. Oh, hello. Oh, wakey, yucky, wakey.
Yeah, how old is Choopy to start with?
Choopy is 14.
14.
Yeah, he's all tired.
He is. He was sound asleep.
He was on his pillow.
And he has the neatest bed. But he also has the most wonderful role in your life that he just came up with on his own. You want to tell everybody about that story?
He's more important than a husband or any family member could be in my life. He is my service dog.
A literal service dog, and we will talk about that on another video.
Yes, he did pass the public access test.
Yes.
But he gives me about 20-30 minutes warning before a seizure. Yeah. And that is, life-changing. Life-changing,
life-enhancing, life-saving, all of the above.
And knock on wood, or metal.
I always do this, knock on wood.
No, I leave my head alone.
Don't knock too hard.
Well, not going to be
Yeah.
He's never missed. He's never missed.
And it was a process.
He's 100% in the game.
Yeah, and it was a process. And I think I will save that for another video if you're willing to talk about the difference in service dogs and versus therapy dogs versus emotional support dogs.
And they're all needed. But
they're very much.
There is big differences between the categories.
So we'll present that in another video.
Well, I just want to share that, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I was totally bedridden kind of thing.
I remember those days.
And I used to watch these videos thinking, wouldn't that be nice? And I'd watch them just to watch people traveling to other destinations,
Yeah.
And then here I am. And don't give up on your dream. It's like I got to the point where I bought the van, I built it out. I gave up my apartment and the lease and everything and just said, I just want to travel full time. And unfortunately, COVID played a big part in that because I kind of was like 3 months. I should have waited. COVID hit really fast once I gave up that apartment. It was like, oh man, what do I do?
Yeah.
But it's okay. And the people that you meet are just so genuine and loving and caring that there's no pretenses that normal society gives you. There's, you're just so accepted regardless of who you are. And you could drive a big, huge, fancy bus, or you could come in, a old rickety-dink car.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
People are so open, and I think it's, the fresh air. I don't know, but it's a wonderful life.
And I'm in the process of writing my 4th book, and it's titled How Being a Nomad Saved My Life. And
Yes,
I believe
yes.
it did. And there is something about the quiet and the peace and the nature and getting away from the noise and the stimuli. And have you found that to be true as well?
Yeah.
And so I'm so pleased to meet you and get to spend this time camping with you. And thank you for letting my viewers get to know you better. And you all leave her a comment below, show some support. Stay tuned later for her tour video, and we will work out the details on doing a video about the different types of dogs that are out there that are of service to a lot of people and the different classifications. All right.
Wonderful.
Good deal. All right, everybody. We'll see you down the road.
Bye, guys.
Keep on keeping on.